once again, a very, very good morning to all the students. Hope you are all fine, you're hale and healthy, you're doing well. And as you know, the exams are round the corner. Your board exams are round the corner. I'm sure you are preparing well for your examinations. So I wish you a very happy Janmashtami. May God bless you all children, bless you with wisdom, bless you with knowledge, bless you all with creativity and imagination, bless you all with a very good life, with a good health, a happy, long and successful life ahead, and a very, very bright career. So my best wishes to you before I start the session. And as you all know, today's session is about assertion and reasoning questions. I wanted to alert all the children. I wanted to, throw some light on this assertion and reasoning questions. What are these assertion and reasoning questions, etc. Right? So before I start my session, before I start the presentation, I just wanted to give some information regarding new education policy. All of you might be aware, you might have heard in the news, you might be knowing that new education policy has already come into existence. It's already 1 year plus 2 or 3 months. July 29th, it has formed, it has come into existence, and it's already 1 year. CBSE and the education department has celebrated the first anniversary of new education policy. So when new education policy is concerned, it is a big transformation in the education field. It's going to be, it is already implemented, but it will be very seriously implemented across the country in 2023. From 2023, all the schools are expected to implement this new education policy very, very seriously. After 34 years, there is a big change in the education system, because we need to, reach the global standards. When the student of India moves abroad, so he must be in a position to level that standard. He must be in a position to compete the standard. So considering those areas, new education policy has come into existence, right? So why am I talking about this is, it is again related to your assertion and reasoning questions. When you write any competitive exam, when you, try to write any entrance examinations, when you are writing your board examinations, no doubt this assertion and reasoning questions are being introduced. So in 9th and 10th standard, you have these questions. So why these questions? What is the purpose of these questions? Why CBSE is making these questions, and why is it making the examination a bit tough and a bit hard? So when new education policy is concerned, the main sole purpose of this policy is to shift from rote learning to competency-based education, to shift from rote learning to discovery education, to shift from rote learning to experiential learning, right? So what is this competency-based education? What is this competency? Competency has these 3 things. You should have knowledge, right? A thorough knowledge, and you should have skill and attribute. Attribute is an attitude to do something. These 3 things constitute your competency learning or competency based learning. So till now, the children were trying to mug up the answers, even almost 50 lines answer or 60, 70 lines of full big 2 to 3 paragraphs. The children used to mug up, learn, rote learn it, and then try to write as it is in the question paper, in the answer sheet, whenever you are appearing for your exams. So you got good marks, you got above 90, above 95, and you thought that, yes, I'm the best in the class. So this is what the mindset was, mugging up the answers and trying to write over them. But now, new education policy wants the children to stop this mugging up answers, rote learning, what we call, rakta ghokampatti, what we call. CBSE wants, the education policy wants to stop this rote learning and shift to competency-based education, right? Matlab, where you will have the depth of knowledge, where you have the command on the subject, where you can, my screen is not working. My voice is cracking. Hello? Where you have command on the subject, where you have thorough knowledge about the subject. So CBSE wants to check. See, you are going to write board examination. You are going to write some competitive examinations. So when you are writing the examination, the one who is conducting exam, the one who is trying to test you, so he has some parameters. He is not going to simply give you ready thing and wanted you to write the answers over there. Now you might be under impression that term one exam jo hai, we have all MCQ questions over there. We have all multiple choice questions. So हम कोई भी तुक्का वहां पे लगा देंगे. This could be the attitude of the children sometimes. You feel that, so we will just try to like check and then put a tick mark over there. And sometimes you will get the right answer. Sometimes it's quite easy. MCQs जो है बहुत easy होते हैं. You might be under this impression. But what I wanted to alert you is the one who is examining you, वो हमसे भी बहुत होशियार है. The one who is trying to conduct an examination for you, he is not going to give you simple, easy, and the ready answers over there. He wanted to check your subject knowledge. He wanted to check your command on the subject. He wanted to check the gravity of the subject you have, how much understanding you have, how much of comprehension you have, whether you have that competency in yourself or not, whether you have that knowledge, that understanding, that skill, and that attitude or not, whether you can discover something or not, whether you can create something or not, whether you can like do something if at all you are asked to do something immediately, whether you can do those things or not. CBSE, like the testing agencies like NTA, NCRT, and CBSE, the purpose of launching these questions is to check the students' knowledge, to increase the level of the students' intellectual ability, to develop the student to reach the global standards. So CBSE wanted the students to level their style of, education, their style of learning, and to raise the standard of the education. So that is the reason they have like launched assertion and reasoning questions. If you go for any competitive exams, some students might be under the impression that you will simply put a tick mark so that now assertion and reasoning questions you need not have to prepare in future. Somehow you will finish off your 10th standard and you got relieved from such type of questions. But children, please keep in mind, till the end of your career, you will be, attempting this reasoning, logical, assertion and reasoning, such types of questions. Now, when new education policy is concerned, the whole scenario is going to change. In future, when you go to attend any of the interviews, the person will be trying to appoint the student or the candidate based upon his creativity, his imagination, his critical thinking, his decision making, his reasoning power, his analysis power, his logical thinking, his reasoning. When you have all these areas very, very strong, the student will be immediately selected by the company, agency, whatever it is. And when you are planning to, even some students are preparing for NEET examination, for JEE, some students wanted to go for some other competitive exams. Whatever competitive exams you are planning to prepare or write in future, all those competitive exams has got this assertion and reasoning questions, right? So please do not neglect or do not take these questions easily. All the questions which you are going to see in your examination for term 1 and term 2 board examination, whatever MCQs you have, there are different levels. So some questions will be simple considering the average and below average students. Some questions will be simple. Some questions will be a bit complex, where you have to think and write the answer. You need to understand and write the answer. So some complex questions will be there. Apart from that, you will be given some case-based question a case will be given to you. So depending upon that case, the questions will be asked where you have to choose the right choice. And apart from that, the situation-based questions will be given to you. So in that situation-based, a situation will be given to you, and you know you have already practiced this type of questions. So you are expected to write. And apart from that, reasoning questions are there, logical questions are there, and assertion and reasoning questions are there. So here you are expected to prepare. And these types of questions, I want to alert you here before I start some examples. My presentation is very small. It will take only hardly some 10 to 15 minutes, not more than that, right? But I wanted to alert all the children sitting over here, dear students, reading between the lines is very, very important in order to attend this type of questions. Reading between the lines in the sense, the depth of the subject. Reading each and every line. NCERT has designed the books in a very beautiful manner. If you read the NCERT book line by line, word by word, and if you try to understand the concept, I'm sure you can answer any of the questions, logical, reasoning, analytic based, assertion and reasoning based. You can answer any of the questions, and that too very confident. You can score thorough marks in the examination. You reading between the lines, you reading each and every single line is very, very important. So if you have not read the textbook till now, and if you are ready to write the examination, children, that is not the readiness. You are not prepared for the exam. If you have not read till now the textbook, NCERT textbook, so please start reading each and every line, each and every word from your textbook. Once you get the grip and the command on that particular concept, you can answer any of the questions. And here I wanted to even alert you, your second term examination will be absolutely subjective. Your second term examination will be pen-based, pen paper-based examination. You have to write. You are expected to physically come to school and write the exam if things are conducive, right? So if the environment is good, if physically children can come and write the exam, so it is absolutely subjective where you have short type answers, long type answers, and even the different questions. So here, since last 1.5 years, you have lost the practice of writing, isn't it? You are not used to write. There is time limitation. You have limited time. You have to think. You have to apply. You have to write. So in that case, your speed will be sometimes, less. You will fall short when speed of writing is concerned, and the time will be up. Though you know the answers, sometimes you fail to present it properly, fail to write it in the paper. So I recommend very strongly, day one onwards, please start practicing writing. The more you start writing, the more it will be beneficial for you in your final examination. And the marks for the final examination will be from both term 1 and term 2. Again, we'll get the guidelines from CBSE. Depending upon the guidelines, we are going to prepare the final results. But do not take your term 1 और टर्म 2 इजीली. कोविड पीरियड है, पैंडेमिक है, हो जाएगा, हम लोग पास हो जाएंगे. Do not be under that impression. Be serious from day 1 onwards, from today till now. If at all you have not read the textbook, children, start reading the textbook from today. Start understanding the concept. Try to get into the gravity. Try to get into the depth of the subject, which will help you a lot while solving your MCQs in your term 1 as well as term 2 examination. So let us see what are assertion and reasoning questions. Give me a moment. Let me share my screen. Hope my screen is visible. So what is assertion? You might have heard assertive statement in your English grammar. So it is nothing but a declaration that is made emphatically. Any statement, any opinion any fact, any comment, anything which is true or which is a fact, right, is an assertion, is an assertive statement. We say that if a statement is true, we call it as assertive statement. For example, sun rises in the east is an assertive statement. Everybody knows this is a fact that the sun rises in the east. So when will I say sun rises in the east? When I have a strong reason, only then I can say that sun rises in the east. So every assertive statement will have a reason. When you have a reason, only then you can say that the assertion is correct, right? I say sun rises in the east. What is the reason? The reason is because. I'm adding because over here to connect the sentences, the assertion as well as the reason. The sun rises in the east because earth moves towards east. So the sun rises in the east. Matlab, you have a reason. Think that if you want to make a complaint, if you want to quarrel, if you want to raise your voice against somebody or against something, when you have a reason, you will try to raise your voice. Because he said this way and this is wrong, so I wanted to raise my voice. Think that you have science examination and we are conducting SST examination for you. You have a reason because the school has done the mistake. My teacher has given me a wrong paper. So I'm going to make a complaint. You have a reason to raise your voice. In the same way, there are two statements. I'm going to explain it. And you have assertion. Assertion is nothing but it is a fact. Do not get confused or do not take these things so complicated. I don't want to make this a very big complication also. The only thing is assertion is a fact. It's a statement. It's an opinion. It's a comment. Whatever it is, you can consider. So it's a sentence. It's a line which has few words. Okay. So when you're what is an assertion and reasoning question? It is a question type that consists of two statements. As I told you, you have one statement as assertion and you have the second statement as reason. One is an assertion statement and the other is reason statement. Okay. So whenever you have assertion and reasoning questions, you have two statements in that. The first statement is assertion and the second statement is reason. You have to read and observe the information in the assertion statement and the reason statement to understand the concept being discussed. What you have to do, whenever there are assertion and reasoning questions, you have to read the assertion thoroughly, try to understand, okay, and read the reason as well. If you think that the reason is matching, the reason is correct, okay, so assertion and reason questions are being given certain options. I'm going to even tell you what are the options. So first what you have to do is read the assertion, try to understand. Read the reason, try to understand. Okay. I'll give you some smart tips over here. As a matter of fact, there are no smart tips. There are no tricks to solve this assertion and reason. अरे हमने वो ट्रिक सीख लिया, वो ट्रिक यहाँ पे अप्लाई कर दी और फिर हमारा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया. There is no such shortcut. There is no such trick when assertion and reasoning questions are concerned. The only shortcut or the only trick is reading between the lines. You should have thorough command. You should have thorough knowledge. You should have conceptual knowledge. If the concept is very, very clear, you can solve any question very, very easily. It's, it's matter of seconds, like in no time you can solve the questions. Until and unless you have the knowledge about certain things, it is very difficult to solve this type of questions. So whenever you have this question before you, read assertion carefully, whether it is true or false. Read first two lines, assertion statement. Try to understand, try to think, apply the logic that I read this in my lesson. Yes, this is true, or no, this is not true. This is false, right? Read the reason carefully and identify whether it is true or false. You have to read the reason also. You will read the reason, and then you will start thinking whether the reason is matching, whether the reason is supporting the assertion or not. You will read the reason. Understand the options clearly. Okay, there 5 options are given. I'll even in the next slide I'm going to show what are the options. So you have to read those 5 options and check which option is correct. Okay, and here what I recommend is having thorough GK. Sometimes you require general knowledge, sometimes you require general studies, overall knowledge you require to solve this assertion and reasoning questions. That is the reason I wanted to conduct a session on this. It's not that you just try to put a tick mark and think that, yes, I have done the assertion and reasoning correctly. You are under wrong impression. The thing is thorough preparation, thorough reading, thorough command on the subject. You require the thorough knowledge on particular subject. You need that gravity in that subject. So until and unless you have that gravity, that depth, that command on the subject, it is difficult for you to solve this assertion and reasoning questions. So having thorough GK, general studies, and reading between lines, word to word you are expected to read. I'm repeating several times. Try to understand the gravity of reading between the lines. So it's very, very important for you if you want to achieve something in your life, want to clear your NEET, want to clear your JEE. So I recommend very strongly reading each and every line of your textbook makes a very big difference. So try to identify that the reason is right and explanation for the assertion. When you read, the first you have to read assertion, then check whether it is true or false, then read the reason carefully and identify whether it is true or false, then try to understand the options and try to check whether the options are matching the above assertion and reasoning or not. And then if both assertion and reason are true, insert. Here a small logic, you have to insert because, due to, or so that, or that's why after assertion. The sun rises in the east because earth moves towards the east. So I have added because over there. So when you add because, the sentence will be complete. The whole sentence, assertion, reason will be complete, and it will make some sense in that. When it makes some sense, you will get an idea, yes, this is the right statement. But until and unless I have knowledge that the sun rises in the east, I cannot say that the assertion is right or wrong. So first I require thorough knowledge. I require thorough command. So that is very, very important in order to solve your assertion and reasoning questions. Moving to the next slide, I give you an example, right? Mercury is the farthest planet from the sun. Now this is assertion. Assertion is indicated by A, capital A, and reason is indicated by capital R. So Mercury is the farthest planet from the sun. So read it carefully, because now first I should know what is the sequence, whether Mercury is close to sun or it is farthest to the sun. I should have an idea. So first I should know the sequence of the planets. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, of course, is not a planet because it doesn't have the qualities which a planet should have. So I can say Neptune, right? So first comes is Mercury. So Mercury is the first planet. So I should know whether it is close to sun or not. So when this statement is concerned, Mercury is the farthest planet from the sun. I should know that this is wrong. Assertion is wrong. And when reason is concerned, Mercury is the smallest planet in the entire solar system. Yes, this is a fact. I know, I have studied in my SST books, I have studied in social science that Mercury is the smallest planet. I know that this is correct. The reason is correct. But when assertion is concerned, assertion is wrong over here. Mercury is the farthest planet from the sun. Mercury is the smallest planet in the entire solar system. Please excuse me for 1 minute. I have an urgent call from CBSE. I'm sorry, please excuse me for this. So here I will check Mercury is the smallest planet in the entire solar system. This is true. And here are the options. Both assertion and reason are true. And R is the correct explanation of assertion. So I need to check these options. The second option is both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not correct explanation of A. Third option is assertion is true, but reason is false. D, assertion is false, but reason is true. C, if both A and R are false. These are the options you will have for every assertion and reasoning questions. So from these options, I need to check. When can I check the right answer? When I have thorough knowledge. I know Mercury is not the farthest planet. That is a wrong. So assertion is wrong. And Mercury is the smallest planet in the entire solar system. It is true. I know. So assertion is wrong. A is wrong. And R is true. I need to check what is the right option over here. So A is true, but R is false. And R is the correct explanation of A. Both A are true. So here A is not true, A is wrong, and the right answer is A is true, but R is false. Both A and R are true. So the right option is C. A is true, but R is false. I can go for the option C. I can put a tick mark to the option C. A is false, but R is true. A is false, assertion is false, assertion is wrong, and R is true. The reason is true, right? I can go for the option D. Sorry, C is not the right answer because in C, assertion is true and reason is false. So I can go for the D option where assertion is false and R is true. Both A and R are false. So here R is true. So I have to go for the option D. You need to think over, you need to understand the reason, need to understand your assertion, and based upon that, you are expected to choose the right answer. Let us see the second example. Now, second example is assertion, carbon monoxide when inhaled causes death. This you might have heard. So different vehicles, they release carbon monoxide. The one who is being exposed to the pollution for a longer time. So after a few days, my voice is audible. After a few days, he will fall sick and even that leads to death also. What is the reason? The reason is carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin. So this is true. When carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin, it forms carboxyhemoglobin. Carboxyhemoglobin is a poisonous thing which will inhibit the transportation of oxygen into the blood. It will stop the blood flow. It will stop the oxygen mixing with the blood. So that causes the death of a person. So here I should have the idea about carbon monoxide, whether it is a poisonous gas, whether really it causes death or not. So I should have knowledge about this. When I read this, then I will check the options. Both A true, R true, and the reason is correct explanation of A. So here the first option, A, is correct because carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin. That is true. Carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin to form carboxyhemoglobin, which will hamper the mixing of oxygen into blood. So you need to check the options, try to read the assertion, try to read the reason, and check whether this is matching, whether the statement is correct or not. Depending upon that, you are expected to choose your right answers. So here is an example 3. Assertion is inside the earth metals are present in molten state. So check whether this is true or false. We have the example of lava, which is in the liquid form. which is in the molten state. So reason is earth absorbs sun rays. So do you think because the earth absorbs sun rays, so the metals inside the earth are in a molten state? Is this correct? You need to think over. It is. For assertion is right. Inside the earth, metals are present in molten state. This we have seen many times. So this is a right assertion. And when reason is concerned, earth absorbs the sun rays. This is a wrong statement. As a matter of fact, when earth, because of the high temperature and pressure inside the earth, so this metals will be in molten state. The earth does not absorb, rather it reflects heat. So I should have this knowledge. When I have this knowledge, I can choose the right answer over here. This is how you can choose the right option and attempt the assertion and reasoning questions. And now here we have the next example from your science. And I wanted to welcome Shraddha Miss to carry on with these examples. Shraddha Miss, I hand over the floor to you. Please come forward and explain example 4. Give me a moment, 1 second. Shraddha Miss, I am once again sharing the screen for you.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am.
Very good afternoon. You can just.
Am I clearly audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible.
So much, ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to speak in this meeting. Very good afternoon to all my dear students. Hope you all are safe and fine.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
And in today's meeting, I just want to add some boosting ingredients to your knowledge. And for that, I have some example over here. This question belongs to chemistry. The assertion statement is copper sulfate crystals are weight because it contains of crystallization. So children, you know very well that the 5 water molecules are just one formula unit of copper sulfate, which doesn't make the salt weight. So it just gives the crystalline texture to the salt with a blue color, right? So copper sulfate crystals are weight because it contains water of crystallization is the false statement. So assertion in the question number 5 here is the false. Now let us find out for the reason. So let us try to follow the tips given by our respected principal ma'am. Reason statement is water of crystallization is the fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of the salt. So this is the correct definition for water of crystallization. It is a fixed number of water molecules present to one formula unit of salt. So in this case, copper sulfate has 5 water molecules for crystallization. So the reason statement is true. So assertion is false and the reason is true. So we will go with the option D. Option D is the correct answer for example 5. It states that the assertion is false and the reason is true. Next slide, please. example 6, the statement of assertion. Light does not same direction in all the medium. Of light is different in different medium. So the light does not travel in the same direction in all the medium is the true statement. So assertion is true. Let us think for the reason and let us follow the tricks given by our respected principal ma'am. So let us find out whether it is true or false. So statement of reason. The speed of light does not change as it enters from one transparent medium to the another. So everybody knows that uh, the speed of light is different in different medium. So this statement is false. Here, assertion is true and the reason is false. So again, the option D is the correct answer for example 6. Ma'am, question
Question
number
number
4.
4.
Only two? Okay, only chemistry and okay. Ma'am, can I explain directly without screen? Okay, so children, one more question we can discuss in today's meeting. The statement of assertion. The statement of assertion in alcohol. So everybody knows that anaerobic respiration produces the product like alcohol, lactic acid. So this is the correct statement. Reason statement, there is an incomplete breakdown of glucose. So we know that when there is an anaerobic respiration, so which is nothing but the incomplete oxidation of glucose. So here both the statements are true, both the statements, assertion and reason, both are correct. And here we can think that the glucose oxidizes incompletely, and because of that only, the alcohol is produced as the end product in an anaerobic respiration. So reason is the correct explanation of assertion. So we will go with the option A, that is both assertion and reason are true, and R is the correct explanation of statement assertion. Are you done with my explanation? Ma'am, next screen. Now I would like to hand over the platform to my colleague, Mr. Ashok Patil sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir, you're
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, good afternoon, students. I hope that you are all able to hear me, students.
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Yes,
You are
Yes,
sir.
very
sir.
loud and clear.
Yes,
Please
sir.
go ahead.
Okay,
So
ma'am. Okay.
we have Ashok Patil sir over here to explain one example from SST. So please carry
Okay.
on.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, students, see if you can see this particular statement, there are two statements given here. First one is an assertion, that is Giuseppe Garibaldi was an Italian general politician and nationalist who played a large role in the history of Italy. So, as respected principal ma'am told us in the beginning of the session that in order to sort out these kind of questions, so we need to understand the whole concept. So, can anybody please tell me that from which concept or from which topic this question is prepared? So, the answer is unification of Italy. Okay, and I think I have given you proper mind maps on each and every topic. Am I correct? Okay, so
Yes, sir.
you need to understand that in order to, yeah, in order to eliminate the method, in order to eliminate the things here, you need to understand thoroughly that what is unification of Italy. So who are the people who were the first thing which you need to understand is all the you need to remind all the persons who were the part of this unification. So if you do remind that there were 4 people in total, the first one was Mazzini. Am I correct? Mazzini was first person.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes,
Apart
sir.
from
Yes,
that,
sir.
you know that it was your Kaver was the second person. He was the minister. The third person was Garibaldi. Okay, and the fourth person was the king. But we are not bothered about the king right now here. But there are 3 persons who were involved about there: Garibaldi, Mazzini, and Kaver. So अब हमको ये पता लग चुका है that these are the 3 people. Okay, so now we can go through the questions one more time. So Giuseppe Garibaldi was an Italian general, politician, and nationalist who played a large role in the history of Italy. Obviously, ठीक है, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है. There is no doubt about it that this person was associated with that. Am I correct? Do you agree with the statement, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
First thing is clear and cut. So ये true है, ये तो पता लग चुका है. ठीक है. Now let's understand the reason. So he was the architect in the process of nation building. So you need to think about this, that क्या ये व्यक्ति था या नहीं था. So we need to understand the story of this. That do you remind that as far as the southern part of Italy was concerned, that Garibaldi took care of that. Garibaldi took the peasants into confidence. उन्होंने उसको peasants को confidence में लिया था.
Yes, sir.
And you know that he defeated the Bourbon dynasty. Okay, he defeated the Bourbon dynasty of Spain with the help of the peasants. Are you getting my point, student?
yes,
So
Yes,
what I mean to
Yes, sir.
say, we don't need to compare. We don't need to compare who Kaver and Mazzini and Garibaldi here. We don't need to compare them. We just want that whether the person was in the act or not. So bottom line is that yes, Garibaldi was the part of unification of Italy. Is it clear? So that means that both the statements are what? Both the statements are
True.
true. Both statements are
what will
true.
be the answer? What
Actually,
would be the answer?
option number.
What would be the answer?
Option Option A.
Option A. Is it correct? Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Is it correct, students? समझ गए आप किस तरह से?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, do you think the mind map method will be an one-stop solution to eliminate these kind of questions? Don't you think so?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you now understand that how to take more? I mean, how to take most of the advantage from the mind map to sort out these kind of questions? I believe so.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
Still, if you face any problem, you can reach out to me, and I'll definitely help you out. So I believe that this example is enough to understand the concept. Okay, students. So that was it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much, sir. Right, sir. Thank you. I stop the screen sharing now. So children, hope you got some idea about assertion and reasoning. And if at all you practice, see, the only thing is, the method is practice. Practice makes man perfect. There's no other option. The more you practice, the more you solve, the more you will be confident. So keep on practicing such questions. This will not only help you to clear your board examination, but this will help you throughout your life. Whenever you go for any competitive, any entrance examination, any interviews, this will help you to clear those competitive examinations. So reading between the lines. Today's message is reading between the lines. Reading between the lines का मतलब होता है एक एक लाइन को, एक एक वर्ड को गहराई से डेप्थ में जाके इन डेप्थ पढ़ने की कोशिश करना है. रीडिंग बिटवीन द लाइंस का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप दो लाइन के बीच में मतलब जो है वो पढ़ोगे, ऐसी बात नहीं है. हर एक वर्ड, हर एक लाइन, हर एक चीज का मीनिंग समझ के आपको मतलब पढ़ना है, तभी आपको ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आप कर सकते हो. और ये आपको हायर एजुकेशन के लिए भी काफी मतलब मदद साबित होगा. इट विल हेल्प यू फॉर योर future career also. So keep on practicing such questions, right? So apart from this, I just wanted to alert all the children for your attendance. Some children are not attending some of the sessions. Do attend the sessions. Teachers will help you out. We are even planning to practice, because the method of this first term examination is a bit different. You will be given OMR sheets as you have written some competitive exams, like your Homi Baba, your scholarship examination. In the same way, you will be given OMR sheet where you are expected to encircle the right options. So we are going to conduct a practice paper for you before you attend the exam. And as I have told you in the previous session, that the CS will change, the invigilators will change, and of course, we don't have any guideline when center is concerned. So sometimes even you can be in the school, or if the things are normal and conducive, so your center can also change. So please do not neglect this first term examination. It's a very, very serious examination where the marks of your first term will be added to your final examination. So do not neglect, do not take this examination easily. You have any doubts, any problem, you want to discuss, you want to have more class, do consult your teacher. Even you can feel free to call me, or you can feel free to come and talk to me if there is any problem. We will try to solve your problems. And apart from that, now when registration is concerned, already teachers have alert you regarding the registration. There are some changes, there are some small, spelling errors in your name, in your parents' name, in the date of birth. So if at all there are any such thing, your certificate, once is being printed, will continue throughout the life. And once you leave the school, once you finish your 10th standard, and once you get the certificate from the school, it is not possible to make any changes or corrections in your certificate. So I wanted to alert all the children, please check, recheck, double check the registration form before filling, whether it is matching your previous certificate or not, whether you have mentioned all the details properly or not. Check all these things and then try to give the final submission, so that all those things which you have mentioned, which are relevant or which are matching your birth certificate or LC or the admission form which you have given produced prior in the school. So if at all it is matching, the same thing will be reflected in your certificate, which will continue throughout the life. So even I want you to be alert when this registration process is concerned, be alert in that case. And apart from that, I wanted to wish all of you the very best, my blessings and my wishes to you for your term 1 and term 2 examination. Anyway, before term 1 examination, once again, I'll be in touch with you. I'll try to alert you. But today, I wanted to again alert you regarding the seriousness of your term 1 preparation. So how serious are you? If you are not, still you have time. You can be again serious, because once the result is declared, we cannot make any changes in the marks or in the result. So you working hard is the only option. There is no other option apart from this. So I wanted to make the children alert. If there is anything to ask, if you want to discuss something, you can definitely. You can unmute yourself. Please try to switch on your videos and come forward to discuss with me.
Ma'am, assertion and reasoning questions are only for SST and science only.
You have for SST, science, mathematics also with them. Main subjects. You have for main subjects, okay? But keep on practicing these questions. Logic, reasoning, analysis, assertion and reasoning. This will always help you. And even whenever you go for any, in future, I'm talking about the future interviews are not based upon your grade 10 or grade 12 certificates or marks. Think that you have done your graduation, you have passed some of the examinations. So the interviewer will have nothing to do with your certificates and marks. Rather, he will check you at that time. Your creativity is important, your imagination is important, your critical thinking is very, very important. He will give you some questions, he'll put some situations before you and ask you to solve. The purpose of launching these type of questions from grade 9th is we are trying to prepare you for your future, and you should even meet the global standards. So that is the reason. Do not take this type of questions easily. अरे बहुत hard है या तो फिर ये कुछ काम के नहीं है, उसमें हम तुक्का लगा देंगे. Don't be under that kind of attitude. Practice, keep on practicing. In order to practice, thorough knowledge, thorough GK, thorough general studies, thorough subject command. This is very important. Once you have that concept clear, whatever the subjects are concerned, this is going to help you a lot. Anything else? Anybody else would like to come forward and speak something? So if there is nobody, we can wind up the session.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No doubt, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you so much, dear children. My best wishes once again for your exams. And I'm sure all of you would definitely come up with flying colors, and all of you will make us, the school as well as your parents, proud. So please focus on your studies, stop your screen, right? Screen addictions of playing games and all, stop those things for some time, at least till you finish your examination. Have a limited period for, getting relaxed. You can play for 1 hour, but not continuously throughout the day, right? And try to take care of yourself. Be fit physically, mentally, okay? Keeping fit is very, very important. So take care of yourself and start your preparation for your board examination from now onwards. I'm not trying to, panic you or scare you, but I just wanted to alert you. Otherwise, अरे हमें पहले पता होता तो शायद हम और अच्छे से कर सकते थे. Should not be the, because once you get the certificate, once the results are declared, you shouldn't repent. अरे किसी ने हमें बताया होता हम और अच्छे से कर सकते थे, ये चीज नहीं होना है. Keep on practicing, work hard, definitely the success will be at your feet. जरूर आप successful बनोगे. And every student sitting over here will, I'm sure, score above 90%. So put your hard efforts.
Yes, ma'am.
And work hard.
Yes,
Okay, don't look for shortcuts. Don't go for, simple things. अरे तुक्का लगा देंगे, उसके लिए मत जाना. When you have knowledge, this is going to help you throughout your future. So try to clear your concepts. That is very, very important. And once you read NCERT textbook thoroughly, I'm sure you can solve any type of question. NCERT is designed so beautifully. So it has given every aspect, every angle NCERT, considering every angle NCERT books are being designed. So once you read it thoroughly, there is nothing to read extra, as a matter of fact. But even if you want to, read more things, it's, of course, it is appreciated. But take that care, take care of yourself, take care of your parents, okay? And my blessings to all the children. Once again, happy Janmashtami, and convey my wishes and regards to your parents also. Okay, thank you so much. I'll sign off. Thank you. God bless you all, children. Bye-bye. Bye, Vita.
Bye,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Take
ma'am.
care.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye,
Bye, Vita. Bye, Vita.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Take care.